back to another video on Educate FX. A lot of you guys have been messaging me asking me to explain how I use support and resistance and how we can use that to aid our trading. So I've made a video, gonna make a video just to explain how to utilize support and resistance. As this is basically and essentially the foundations of trading on the market. One needs to know how to utilize support and resistance and how it does work. Okay, so we'll look on a daily perspective on GJ. So as you can see, I've got these pink boxes followed by these black lines and again pink boxes. These are all the pink boxes are my monthly levels and the black lines are my key weekly levels. This is explained in a previous video on how to plot all these levels and what numbers to plot this on. Just be sure to check out my YouTube channel. That will have the details in on the video on how to plot key levels, and it is really important that you plot these key levels. So let's analyze a pair that I don't have any markings for. Okay, let's see Euro CAD. Okay, see what's going on here. Okay, so support and resistance is essentially, so on the daily time frame, this is the big picture, we can clearly see, let me just identify this one. Okay, there's one. So clearly now I've just, and this is the top one right here. So I've drew two lines on. Basically, this line here, this could act as resistance. So resistance you look at as basically, if you're looking at a house, resistance would be the ceiling. If you're looking at, let me bring this down here to a better level. And if you're looking at the floor, that's basically essentially the support. So these lines, the resistance and support, are basically barriers that price could react from. So as you can see, we've pushed down, had a reaction into here, spiked through it, closed back below. Had a reaction to this level here, boom, big spike up. Then we've had another reaction to this exact same line here. Again, we've tapped back down into our support zone. Just failed to hit our resistance. And on this one, you can see that price has snapped below the resistance. However, we've pushed back up. We've had another big bearish candle through our resistance here. However, 2 days later, we've rocketed up and then just failed again to touch our resistance line here. Spike through our support, hit our support again, hit our resistance again multiple times, and then fell to our resistance, so our support. So you just want to identify in the market where price turns a lot of the time. So if we go down to smaller time frames, as it could be easier to, so right now I could look for a resistance here. So that can be a resistance because you can see price spike through it. We had 1 hour body close above it and then we've popped back down below it, retested it again, dropped, come back up, failed to close back above it, and again we've whacked it on our heads 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So I would say this is a decent line of intraday support because we're on the 1 hour time frame. So as long as price holds below that, you could potentially say that we will drop a bit further. And in this region, you could draw on a support zone right here, because as you can see, price is trading and consolidating the last couple of hours in this little zone here. So this would be our support, this would be our resistance. And sometimes what can happen, mainly on bigger time frames, if we get a consolidation period like this between a support zone and a resistance zone, what we can do is, if we get a break out of our resistance, 9 times out of 10 on this break we'll always come back to retest this level to see how strong our resistance was. So resistance has been broken. Now, that resistance line has now changed to support. And this one has become our resistance line. So 9 times out of 10, once we break resistance, we'll come back down to test it as a support level before the continuation to the upside. So if you want to do it on a support line, let me just draw another support line. Potentially, yeah, I'd say here. Okay, so we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 rejections from this here. So if you're trading it the other way and want to wait for a break here, you get a break, retest that. So we've broken the support, and now this support that's broken, because price is now trading below it, this can be acted as a resistance. And you're hoping now when price has broken it, because it's failed to break it so many times and it has broken it, once it come back to retest it, because this line has held for so long and it is holding quite significant, we can expect a reaction once we've retested that, maybe to fall back down to here. So that could be two ways you can use support and resistance. These are basics in the Forex, and hopefully a lot of you do understand how to use these. It's just drawing your lines where you think market prices turned quite significantly. So I could draw another one here. That can be one here. So we've had 1, 2, broke above it, retested it, thought we'd go back up, smashed through it, retest, and then just failed to close above it. So yeah, if one is to succeed in the Forex markets, this is a basic understanding that you do need in the markets. And when you do break it down, if you watch this video time and time again, you will start to understand it. So I will go over it one last time. If we break this support line now turns into our resistance, and this becomes our support line. If we break above this resistance, we'll come back down to retest it as a support. So it was resistance, now turned into support before we go on to our next target or resistance. But that's basically support and resistance summed up in a nutshell. If anyone's got any questions, give me a message on Telegram. I will have no hesitations at all to help you out. But in the meantime, hope you've all had an excellent Monday, and I hope you all have a very good, profitable week. Take care, guys.